Hi students, welcome to online class. In this video, we are going to discuss about chapter 11 functions. So this is going to be the last topic in this chapter, the class scope. So already we discussed about different types of scope. There are 4 different types of scopes are there: local scope, function scope, file scope, and then last one is called class scope. So what is mean by class scope? See, what is mean by class? First of all, we want to know about class, then only we can understand about what is mean by class scope. So a class is a new way of creating and implementing a user defined data type. A class is a new way of creating and implementing the user defined data type. See, we have discussed about different data types. In chapter 9, we have discussed there are 3 different data types are there. They are fundamental, derived, and then user defined. So in that fundamental, we have discussed that integer, character, float, like that we discussed, then void. Then derived data type is structure, array, union. Then last data type is user defined. User defined data type means the data types which are defined by the user. For their purpose we have created, that is for ourselves we have created the data types. So those data types are called user defined data type. So the sophisticated one, the data types which are created for the sophistication, user sophistication. Can you understand, students? The data types which was created for the sophistication of the user, right? So a class is a new way of creating. So we are going to implement a user defined data type. So that is what we used to call it as class. And then what we are going to give inside the class? What is inside the class? Classes provide a method of packing together data of different types. So can you understand, students? Classes provides a method. So it is going to be a method, or it is going to pack all the different data types. Different types of variables are packed together. Different types of variables are packed together, and then it is given within one single thing. Then that is called as class. See, classes provide a method of packing together data of different types. Simply understand, in a school, when you take a particular class, all the students are not coming from the same location. All the students are not coming from a particular area. So all the students are coming from different places. For example, if you take our school is located in Kumbakonam. So in all the places nearby Kumbakonam, what are all the places are there? So from all the places, the students are coming to our school. So like that, the class contains a data of different types. Then inside the class, we used to declare the variable. Inside the class, we used to declare a variable. So those variables should not be called as variables. We should call it as data member. Can you understand, students? Whenever we declare the variable inside the class, we should not call it as variable. Whenever we declare outside the class, it is called variable. Whenever we declare a variable inside the class, we should not call it as variable. We should call it as data members. They are called as data members. So data members are the data variables. Data members are the data variables that is used to represent the features or the properties of the class. They used to represent the features or the properties of the class, right? Then now we are going to see the example. So when you see the example, then you can understand. So the class keyword should be used. The keyword class should be used. Then after that, each and every class will have a name. Each and every class will have a name. For example, 11th standard, A1, A2, or B1, B3 or C3, C4, like that. Each and every class is given some name. Is it right or not? So like that, the keyword class should be given. After the keyword class, we want to give the name for the class. We want to give the name for the class. Then after that, opening curly brace, inside the curly brace, we are going to give the data variables. The data variables will be given under one particular scope. It may be given under private, or it may be given under protected, or it may be given under public. Inside the class, the data variables can be declared under private, protected, public. Can you understand, students? We are going to study in detail about this class in 14th chapter. So at that time I will explain you what is private, what is protected, what is public. So see here, int mark 1, mark 2, total. So these are called the data variables. These are called the data variables, or else we can call it as data members. We can call it as data members. Can you understand, students? After the closing curly brace, we want to give termination. We want to give termination. So semicolon should be given. We should terminate the class. Then see here, the class student contains mark 1, mark 2 and total are the data variables. Its scope is within the class student only. So now only they are saying what is the scope of these variables. So these variables are accessed. These variables have the scope within the class only. These variables have the scope within the class only. So they are accessible only inside the class. They are accessible only inside the class. You consider whenever you are going for the lab, whenever you are going for the computer lab. So you are getting inside the lab, you are going inside the lab. After that you are accessing the system. Is it right or not? You are accessing the system. After coming out of the lab, whether you are taking the computer and then you are coming out, no. So whenever we go to the computer lab, we are allowed to access the computers. Whenever we go to the computer science lab, you are allowed to access the computers. So whenever you come out of the lab, the computer is not accessible. It is accessible only within the computer lab. It is accessible only within the computer lab. So like that, in this class, the variable mark 1, mark 2, total. In this example, the data variables or data members mark 1, mark 2 and total are accessible within the class student only. Are accessible within the class student only because it is given under private. Because it is given under the scope private. So it is accessible within the class. Can you understand, students? So this is called a class scope. Can you understand, students, what is meant by class and what is meant by class scope? Class means it belongs to user defined data type. Class is used to pack data. So it is used to pack together data of different types. Inside the class we used to declare the variables. Those variables are called data members or data variables. Those variables are called data members or data variables. Those variables are accessed. Those variables are accessed within the class only. Those variables are accessed only within the class. So it comes under class scope. It comes under class scope. Right. Now we are going to see the next topic, scope resolution operator. What is mean by scope resolution operator? The scope operator reveals the hidden scope of the variable. The scope operator reveals the hidden scope of the variable. So with the help of the scope resolution operator, we are going to reveal the hidden variable. So we are going to access the variable which is hidden. Can you understand, students? So scope operator is going to reveal the hidden scope of a variable. Then how the scope resolution operator is represented means it is represented by double colon. So double colon should be given. So that is called scope resolution operator. So the 2 colon marks should be given. So that is going to represent the scope resolution operator. And then what is the purpose it is used? So what are the purpose we are using the scope resolution operator? Whenever we are accessing the global variable, whenever we want to access the global variable, see, global variable can be accessed directly, but why we want to access the global variable with the help of scope resolution operator? Whenever we want to access the global variable, we can access directly, but whenever the global variable and local variable, whenever the global variable and local variable have the same name, whenever the global variable and local variable have the same name, so at that time we can use the scope resolution operator. At the time we can use the scope resolution operator, and then we can access the global variable in a easier manner. Can you understand, students? So whenever both the names, global variable and local variables, have the same name, at that time using the scope resolution operator we can access the global variable. Right, now you are going to see the example. See here, when you see this example, then you can understand it easily. So first I copied the program. So now you see here, program to show that we can access the global variable using the scope resolution operator. So using the scope resolution operator we are going to access the global variable, because the global variable and the local variable have the same name. So for that purpose only we are using the scope resolution to access the global variable. See where the global variable is declared. So after the header file #include IO stream using namespace std. So after that we are going to declare the variable. So that is before the main function. Before using the main function, whatever the variable is declared, or else below the header file, whenever we declare a variable, then that variable belongs to global variable. Whenever we declare a variable below the header file, then automatically that belongs to the global variable. That is going to belong to the global variable. So here they have declared as int x equal to 45. Int x equal to 45. So x belongs to x is assigned as 45, and then x is a global variable. X is assigned as 45 and then x is a global variable. Now you see in the main function, inside the main function, int x equal to 10. So they have declared another variable, that is local variable. Int main, int x equal to 10. So this is a local variable. Inside the main function they have declared another variable x, then that is assigned as 10. Now see here, if I print cout x, straight away I am printing x alone, then what will happen? Inside the main function, whatever the variable is declared, so that variable's value will be printed. If I want to access the global variable, then see here, value of global x is, they are using the scope resolution operator. Using that they are accessing the global variable. Whenever we just give x alone, it prints the value of the variable which is declared inside the main function. So that variable's value will be printed. But whenever I give scope resolution x, then it is used to access the another variable which is outside the main function, which is declared outside the main function. Can you understand, students? Right, now we are going to see in practical manner. So click on the start menu and then open Dev C++. When you click on Dev C++, Control plus N and then Control plus V. So now I have pasted the program. Now I am going to save the program. So before saving, I am leaving the space in all the areas. So now you can save the program. So for saving the program, Control plus S is the keyboard shortcut. So we can use scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator. When I press enter key, so automatically the file is saved. So when I press F11, so first of all it compiles and then it executes the program. So there is no error, means it executes. So see here, value of global X is, because we have used a scope resolution X. Scope resolution X. So it is printing value of global X is 45. Value of local X is 10. So it is printing 10. Whenever I give X, if I give scope resolution X, it prints 45. It is accessing the variable outside the main function. Now let us see here. For example, if I just remove the scope resolution operator. If I remove the scope resolution operator, when I run the program, what it is printing? 10. See, both the values are printed as 10. You note it down here. Both the values are printed as 10 because whenever I print the variable X, it sees the value. It just look into the value inside the main function. It does not go outside. It does not go outside. It just see the value which is declared inside the main function. Can you understand, students? It just look into the value which is inside the main function. But if I use scope resolution X, then it is used to access the variable outside the function, outside the main function. Can you understand, students? Now you see here. So you can see the output. So value of global X is 45, value of local X is 10. So I think you might have understood this video. So let's end the class. So thank you, students.